Okay, so here's my second attempt to do this video after my Cobra Trooper video got cut short by a pop-up, and then another pop-up stopped this one when I was like 10 seconds into it. So I don't know why even have security software on this anyway if it's just gonna make all these pop-ups happen from the security software. It's like I got the security software so I wouldn't have pop-ups. So anyway, so here's Lonzo Stalker Wilkinson from the G.I. Joe Retro line. And I'm glad that they actually named him Stalker because, even though that's a name that has some, shall we say, negative connotations to it today, that was his name when I was a kid. That's what I think of him as. So it didn't mean a bad thing when I was a kid. It wasn't like, here's a crazy person that won't leave a lady alone. It was, just, like you would stalk your prey if you were a hunter kind of thing. So, perfectly good name ruined by a bunch of jerks that can't leave chicks alone. Just leave the women alone. Alright, so let's go ahead and take out his accessories. And I suspect that these might actually be, I haven't compared them, obviously, so I'm just opening it up. I believe that the sidearm and the knife might actually be the same ones that came with the Cobra Trooper. And I'll try to remember to compare later on in the video. But we'll just get those out for now. And then he has this grease gun, which is similar to the one that came with the Spy Island 12-inch G.I. Joe figure. The vintage one. And it also came with the Cobra Night Landing set that came out in the vintage Real American Hero line. And then this gun this is also a new sculpt. On first glance, you might think that it's the vintage sculpt, the one that came with the 1982 Stalker figure, but it's actually a new one, because check it out, it's got a trigger guard on it, which the old one did not have. It's very similar in other respects, and it would be interesting to see to get the original one and compare, what's different and what's not, but it's not 100% the same. And then we have Stalker himself. I'll take him out, and he is a really cool looking figure. I have already examined him while he was in the package, and he's got a great head sculpt. This might be the best head sculpt that I've seen on Stalker thus far. And I've had a lot of Stalker figures, so trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Alright, and since I got distracted by other stuff, let's go ahead and admire the artwork on there, which I believe is the original artwork from the original Stalker action figure. And on the back we have cross-sell with some of the other figures from the G.I. Joe Retro line, which you should allegedly be able to find in stores. Although there's still figures from the second wave that I haven't seen yet, so I don't know if I'll ever find them at this point. So Stalker has this web gear that fits over the body. He's got a tactical sweater with nice sculpted detail to it. I don't know if that's coming across on the camera, but it's actually got, if I turn the light to it, you can kind of see it a little bit. Like, nice sculpted detail, like he's actually wearing a sweater. The pants have lots of cool wrinkles and sharp creases to them. This is that new style of figure like the Cobra Trooper. So he's got an articulation at the top of the thigh and another one down here at the boot cut. So that's nice. That's new articulation. I'm always one who's happy to see new articulation on G.I. Joe figures. So, great head sculpt with a lot of character to it. And he looks like a really tough guy. The paint applications are pretty good, but I do have a slight complaint in that the paint applications on mine, and probably all of them, because both the ones I saw at the store looked like this, and maybe they can fix it later on. The paint applications are really glossy, so his mustache and his lips are both really shiny. I don't know what's the deal with that, but it's nicely applied paint and everything. It's just the paint they used was a little too shiny. So much like the Cobra Trooper, he's got a little notch here, like a little loop, and we can put the knife through it. And just like the original Stalker figure from the 80s, he can carry his knife on the front of his web gear there. Now, that original Stalker figure, the knife was actually sculpted to the chest, and when I was a kid, I always thought it would have been really cool if you could take the knife off of his chest and actually have him use it as a weapon. Well, guess what? Now we can do exactly that, and it fits in his hand rather well, I would say. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. The elbow articulation, I was able to get that one to move. Put the knife back in there so I don't lose it. And yeah, this one isn't quite as stiff as that Cobra Trooper. So it seems like all the articulation is working pretty well. And like I said, it's pretty much the standard articulation you would get on 25th anniversary and beyond, but just with a few extra ones thrown in there too. It looks like, yeah, the wrist can not only, rotate 360 degrees, but can also pivot slightly up and down, and that will help you pose him with the rifles pretty well. And it looks like there's a holster on the side for the pistol, just like the 25th anniversary version of Stalker had. So we can put the pistol right there. There's no pistol holsters or knife sheaths anywhere on the actual body of the figure, but since it's all on the web gear, who cares? It's still there. So let's see if we can get Stalker to hold one of these guns pretty well. And, the grease gun's pretty cool, and I think it's actually a really good gun for Stalker, and just a good gun in general. I would like to have dozens of these. But since I'm kind of a traditionalist, I'm going to use the one that usually comes with Stalker. The classic style Stalker submachine gun. And fit the gun into the trigger guard. Fit the finger in there just fine. And let's see if I can get him into a good shooting pose. Well, darn it, the gun came out of his hand. So you'll want to be careful about that. You can have him grip the magazine of the gun, I think. I know I could with the 25th anniversary figures. It might be a little too thick to fit in there fairly easily. But you can also have them, kind of hold it from the bottom. Well, dang it, I got the thing came out of the trigger guard again. That looks fine. You can probably get more dynamic poses out of it, but for now I'm going to stick with that one. I'm probably going to experiment with them a little bit as far as that goes. Stalker has some really great paint applications to him. That elbow does feel kind of loose. Hope I didn't break it. I don't think I did. I think just like it just is. This elbow, as it rotates this way, it seems a little loose. Yeah, the other arm does that too. I mean, it doesn't seem like it flops around or anything, but it moves very easily. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it. I mean, that's probably a good thing because you don't want to break it. Anyway, so the paint applications are really good. It's kind of a simple overlay of darker green over lighter green, like the original figure had, and gives him a really decent camouflage look. He doesn't have a backpack, but the original Stalker doesn't have a backpack. He comes with extra weapons because he comes with the sidearm and the knife, and he comes with the rifle, the submachine gun like the original Stalker had, and then he also comes with this grease gun, which is really cool. So I would highly recommend this to anybody who collects G.I. Joe action figures, especially the 3 3/4 inch ones. Anything from 25th anniversary on. The retro line has been pretty good so far. Like, it was kind of a little more hit and miss towards the beginning, but with this one and the Cobra Trooper, I think they're starting to come into their own, and I'm looking forward to seeing more figures of this type. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.